Alrighty, we are doing a review. This is our first Star Trek Voyager review, and it is Distant Origins.
Distant Origin. We just picked that one because
it's the dinosaurs, and it's a really good one.
It was really good. Yes,
it was actually quite very fast paced for how heavy and deep a subject it is.
Yeah,
because when I was a kid, because I lived in the library.
Yeah.
And my dad showed me this book, and he showed me a picture of if dinosaurs continued to evolve, what they would look like. Guess what they looked like?
These guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that book had to be 20, 30 years older than this show at the time.
And how long did the dinosaurs roam the Earth?
20, 30, 40 million years? 50, 60? I don't know how many.
65 million years?
Yeah.
How long has humankind been on the Earth?
20,000-ish, maybe.
It's anyway,
given the purported time of history by those who think they know what they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
But
we're not talking about
anywhere between 100 to 200,000 years.
Yeah, but we're not talking about Hyperia or all that
Homo
stuff.
sapien.
Yeah. Hyperia, Conan, and all them, and
right.
I'm just saying, the old ones.
So,
and were the old ones? Hold on, here's something. Were the old ones dinosaurs that were magicians or magic people?
Right.
That'd be fucking wild. There's a story.
We as a species are not even 500,000 years old.
No. Yeah.
Dinosaurs roamed the Earth 65 million years.
That's a long time. That's a lot of zeros, kids.
It does stand to reason that an intelligent saurian species could emerge during that time.
Yeah.
That there's no evidence of or anything that we found.
And here we go. And given that there were so many different types of humanoids in the beginning, Australopithecine and so why couldn't there be
Homo erectus and Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon? Yeah. So
why couldn't
several species of human?
So why couldn't there be different species of dinosaur? You could have had the big bastards that just and then you could have had ones that evolved into.
No, you would have had the primitive, unintelligent ones.
Yeah.
It would seem to me, just with my understanding of how this shit works, it would have been a species that would have emerged on its own, not evolved from a lower form or whatever. Just like humankind just emerged. It was almost like we were just dropped here.
I can't wait.
That happens, and new species emerge, species go extinct.
I can't wait for us to watch Iron Skies.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go fucking wild. I love those movies.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah. So anyway, no, I just thought this was a fascinating idea that...
And this is really one of the best Voyager episodes.
And I mean, it's not clear,
unfortunately, I can count the best Voyager episodes on one, maybe two hands.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, out of 7 years, even TNG had a better batting average. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, Voyager it had its moments, and this was one of them.
Yeah.
And
unfortunately, they were too few and far between.
I mean,
and we can blame Neelix and this and that, but no, it was just bad. And what's interesting is that this is a Brandon Braga episode, but he also had Joe Moscato or whatever, who was the person who saved Enterprise in the 4th season.
And so this species of dinosaur, the Voth, somehow or other left the planet before the Ice Age.
Yeah. Bounced out, said, all right,
and
kick rocks, kids, we're gone.
Out
for a pack of smokes and see you motherfucking later.
Of dumb animals.
Right?
Really.
And how many times do we call other humans that when we talk?
Well, yeah, and I mean... Well, it'd be like, the way we look at primates,
Yeah.
I mean, they'd be looking at them as almost as if they were primate.
Yeah. And then what do you think about that fucking thing that's going around the internet? Could 100 guys take a gorilla? What, they're fucking retarded.
Why?
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
This is like astronauts versus cavemen. Cavemen would fucking win. Unless astronauts had a fucking automatic laser rifle.
Yeah. And
even then. But anyway, go on. Yeah, we go on.
I mean, really, caveman had the same intellectual capacity that we have right now.
Yeah.
They did. They could figure shit out.
They just didn't have a liberal teacher to tell them how to think.
And they had to live out in the wild, in the open, and all that. They didn't, until they learned to build shelters and whatever. But I mean, the caveman did have it genetically and had the same intellectual capacity that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we have all this stuff around us, and we think we're so much smarter. You know what?
Yeah.
No, the stuff around us keeps us dumb.
Right.
Anyway.
Don't even get us talking about the cell phones. No.
Yeah, no. I mean,
and all the 5G and all the Wi-Fi floating in the air.
But no, again, really, really, and then so how long was the Ice Age out?
20,000 or 30,000 years, something like
before,
that. The thaw and
the Earth started to come back to life and mammals emerged.
Yeah.
So plenty of time for them to find their way into the Delta Quadrant.
Oh, totally.
And that's feasible. That's not that.
No, it's. But what I would like to know is,
but by the time they got there, I'm sure they'd gone through multiple generations of
refinement.
No, of lifespan.
Yeah,
it
was a generational shift. Yeah,
several, probably, children, great grandchildren of the ones who left the planet, and so they had lost touch with where they came from.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And
so
the Voyager was able to confirm, no, you guys are from the same planet we're from.
So let's do a little exercise here.
Yeah.
Delta Quadrant, millions of years ago. Could they have? So they were there before the Borg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's.
Yeah, I mean, because it is unclear when they had actually departed the Earth.
And then there's another problem.
And however many, because if it's 65 million years that they roamed the Earth, and it was within the last 5 million years before the Ice Age, that's still 5 million years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time.
So with the Borg, so they were let's say they were the first in the fucking Delta Quadrant, which they probably were.
Mm-hmm.
Since we don't have any history of the Delta Quadrant.
Not really, do we?
No. Except for the Vaudoir. But the Vaudoir were aware of the Borg, and that was 800 years ago. 24th century, so 1600s. So, so they were probably the progenitors of everything in that quadrant, or at least the overseers of it.
Well, it just makes you wonder, where did they find, and settle?
Yeah, because they talk about colonies.
Call their home world or whatever,
And then also...
And how far did they spread out, and how much influence did they really have?
So how did they protect themselves against the Borg? And then also, when Janeway was assimilated in Season 7, because we had to have Lady Cock Borg being better than Picard, this is when I still like TNG. So,
when I still liked it.
When they assimilated all of her knowledge, wouldn't they know about everybody? They would have known about the rogue Borg from before First Contact, when they met that cube.
Yeah.
The compendium or whatever they called themselves.
Yeah.
And they would have known about
the individual guys.
Yeah, and then they would have known about the Voth, and they would have known about Amelia Earhart.
And did she have any knowledge of Hugh?
Yeah.
Remember Hugh?
Yeah. No. She
might not have had any knowledge, but
firsthand, but it was within the Starfleet records. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been something in her mind about him too.
Yeah. So all these potentials for actual interesting stories, and they just because it's a one-off.
No.
What? And I think that was really the problem with Voyagers. Sometimes they'd have good ideas, but then they'd hold on to for dear life for the shit that never worked. Like the fucking...
Like the Kazon?
Yeah.
I thought they'd never get rid of them. Or, And
they really didn't, because they met him up again in like the end of the third season and again in season 7.
Yeah.
Twice in season 7.
How are they that far, like, spread out?
The Voth.
No, the Kazon.
The Kazon.
What the fuck are the Kazon that they're that widespread in the Delta Quadrant that they keep running into them?
And their ships are so fast.
And they're going beelining straight back to the Alpha Quadrant at maximum warp. They would have left them in the dust.
Right? So this is kind of becoming a rant about the Kazon.
No, that actually, it bugged me, man.
It still bugs you.
It does.
It does bug me too. But I've learned to let that shit go.
And just their design and their appearance, it was just ridiculous. I
mean, fuck, the Borg didn't even care for him. The Borg would assimilate anything.
And I mean, please don't take this wrong. It's not an N-word, but their nappy hair was just, oh my God.
It was just dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. For, advanced.
Well, they weren't advanced. They were a slave race.
Well, but.
Who took over the oppressors.
Still.
I'm with you. I'm just saying.
Especially since they had freed themselves.
Right?
You would think they would take a little bit more care with their grooming.
Oh, you just opened the can of
just
fucking
because
worms.
They could.
You just opened a can of worms. It was part of their cultural heritage. You racist son of a bitch.
It was part of their cultural heritage to look like slobs.
I guess so.
Don't mean to be a.
Hold on. Because my nephew, when he was a kid, he was sitting there pondering. And he was thinking about. It's like, I have a question about pirates. Okay. Well, how are they born with their peg leg? And I'm like, oh.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, well, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, because
that and their hook hand.
Right? Ooh,
yeah.
Yowza. Anyway, so, like, and you see the young one with that one episode with Nog.
Yeah.
And he's got the fucking Wonk hair, too.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, did they escape Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, or what the fuck?
Right.
Just, yeah. But anyway, back to this episode. It's a really great episode. You should watch it.
It is great. It's a standalone. You don't even have to know anything about Voyager to see this. It's really good.
And I like those kind of episodes. And then also, because you think about the TNG episode, The Chase.
Yes.
So what's it like, come on. So they created 2 species on Earth and didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
And then of course, Voyager, when they explained away Chakotay's tattoo.
He was an alien.
Oh, God, that was stupid.
Oh, God.
Which just completely absolved them from any association with an actual tribe.
Well, why?
Because they didn't want to have to associate him with an actual tribe.
But why?
Because they didn't know enough about the.
There you go.
No,
white liberal ignorance about something that they pretend they know about or they care about.
Yeah, because there for a while, early in the series, Chakotay was actually very fascinating.
Yeah,
I liked him a lot, and he had that tribal, traditional,
sort of thing. That
that showed that all that still exists, and they even took Janeway on a vision quest to find her spirit animal. It was killer, and then they just dropped it.
Well, yeah, and the actor was pissed about it too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
one of the best characters on the show, I thought. And I just thought it was fascinating to have a real, North American indigenous.
How about
without getting into the terms,
how about instead of that? How about a spiritual person?
Yes,
in fucking Federation, fucking godless Federation.
Yes, and especially a former Maquis.
Yeah,
It was still that spiritual.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
It's like we're writing for them.
I mean,
like, what the fuck,
dude? I mean, we're just fucking.
We aren't even trying.
No, dude. I mean,
yeah,
no.
Just sweet baby Jesus. Anyway, back to this proper episode. This is why we don't talk about Voyager a lot, because everything kind of just comes out in this emotional, just fucking verbal diarrhea about just everything wrong with the show.
And it's sad because the cast was really good for the most part. Tim Russ was great.
Yeah.
Robert Picardo.
Oh yeah. Even though he's a crazy liberal, yeah.
Yeah, but his performance in the show
was great.
Yeah, and I even liked Kes. When they lost
Kes. You and a lot of lesbians do. And I'm not, because I'm a card carrying lesbian, but I'm just saying, like, actual proper female genitalia lesbians really dig on her. Is it because she looked like an elf or what?
Maybe so.
Lick the paint right off her ears? What? No.
You never know, man. It might have been that little bob haircut. But
whatever,
hey, more power to them.
Right?
And, how they say that men should be more in touch with their feminine side, right? If I could touch my feminine side, I'd never leave the house.
Wow. Wow. So you'd be a gooner. Okay, all right.
I got a million of them.
Boy. You heard it here first, folks.
Was a joke, son. You missed it.
Eric would be a gooner if he was a girl, so it's all right. So yeah, this is a really good episode. I don't know how many Voyager episodes we're going to do, because there are some that I'd like to talk about, but we end up like really just talking about the whole show, and
like we've just been doing.
How disappointing it is, and how much better it could have been. So anyway,
it had potential for a lot more than it lived up to.
It had a lot more potential than TNG did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but they were so scared. Their fear.
Well, that, and who knows how many scripts they had to pick from and were submitted, and what the decision making process was in picking. Well,
fucking Brandon Braga and Jerry Tyler were writing most of them for the first 3-4 seasons. And then, Jerry Ryan, I'm going to go out with Brandon Braga, so I'm going to be on the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that, tell us what you think about this episode, Voyager in general, Captain Hillary, whatever, anything. Let us know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe.